Hi there everybody. Chris van die Kerk here at Blue Rhino Safaris. I just completed my Uganda tour of the Chimps and Gorillas. I call it the Primates and Great Lakes tour. And I thought let me update my website, make sure that the latest information is there, then you can start booking for December. It was a very good trip, good being the understatement of the century. I think it's an absolutely awesome destination. A very interesting place to visit. It's something that as South Africans we're definitely not used to, and it's an enjoyable trip. There's a variety of stuff from culturally, when you go to Rwanda and you see the Genocide Museum and all of that stuff, all the way up to the chimps, the gorillas. So there's a few tweaks that I've done just to get the tour slightly more balanced, cut out one or two of the long days, and I think it's going to be a great one this year. So if you're looking for it, it's on the website, 2019 tours. Go all the way to the right hand side on the slider, you'll see Primates and Great Lakes. Click on it and there you go. Departure date 16 December 2019. On request of someone important, we made it just a few days later. Most of the factories will close and most people will be on leave from that period. It's 30 nights, so it's a month tour. We are camping almost all the way. Price 27,000 per person, including VAT at the rate of 14 to the dollar. That does not include your gorillas or your chimps or your Ngorogoro visit. Reason for that is I am leaving it flexible to that extent. If I added it all up, I could charge a bigger amount, and then if you didn't want to do it, I have to give you money back. So it's going to be easier for me just to give you a base price, and then any activities that you want to do, you will just add. So I will add the extras for you on the quotation if you confirm what you want to do. We have to book our gorilla trek beforehand, as well as the chimp trek, otherwise we don't have space to actually do it. 10,500 kilometers, group size will be 12 people maximum. That's what I'm basically aiming for. So if you go onto the website, you can see a little bit more about the tour itself. There's a few pictures on there. The itinerary, the rough itinerary, and the map is on there. So let me go through the trip itself and just show you what the plan is as far as the trip goes. So we'll start off in Botswana at Kasane, which is right in the north, and that will be our first night on the 16th, I think, as I said. The next day we'll go through Livingstone, so we cross at Kazankulu, through Livingstone. We're not stopping at Vic Falls, we're going straight through to Lusaka. Next morning after Lusaka night we go for a bit of shopping. The meat in Zambia is very good, so if you don't have meat with you, we'll stock up on a bit of meat. Coffee shop visit, faff around a little bit, and then out towards Kapirimposhi. We spend the night there, and then the next day we push through to the Tanzanian border. So the idea with the Uganda-Rwanda trip is really to get there, do our tour, and then get back again. So it's not the section going up and the section coming back down. I'm trying to not waste time with short days. So if the roads are good and we can get there, we'll push on a little bit. So we end up just before the Tanzanian border. The next morning we cross over into the border, and then we take a break. 2 nights Lake Tanganyika. You'll see some of the pictures on the website, and brilliant. It's absolutely great to stay there. I could stay there for a week, but we don't have a week, we have to move on again. So we take a break, snorkeling, scuba diving if it's available at that point. Definitely a restaurant meal, very good food there. Sundowner cruises, those type of things are on the cards. Then it's a bit of a, not a rubbish road, it's just a road that takes a bit of time, up to Kigoma, and then from Kigoma the next day we cross into Rwanda. In Rwanda we will spend 3 nights. The first night on the eastern side of Kigali, and then the next morning, just because we have a border crossing on the day, and it's going to take a bit of time to cross that border. The next day we'll go into Kigali, we will visit the Genocide Memorial, A must do, as I say on the website as well, some of the thoughts that I did on the 2018 tour. And then 2 nights at the western side of Rwanda, where we will sort of take a break, do some of the activities in the area, and just see a little bit more of Rwanda. So those 3 days are just to see a little bit more of Rwanda, not just do 1 night through. Then we cross into Uganda and we start our primate section of the tour. First day, it will be a fairly short day, so we can organize ourselves, get our feathers together. There's a very nice coffee shop where we stay in town, and then we'll have the first day off. Now, on that off day, you can do quite a few things. There's kayaking or dugout canoes that you can do on the lake. You can do a coffee tour, which is incredible. Local coffee farmer by hand. They roast, they wash, they do everything by hand. The most healthy coffee that you can find in the world. They don't use any chemicals. Coffee is one of the most sprayed crops in the world. This crop they spray with purely natural stuff. I'm not going to tell you what it is, you'll hear it when you get there. But you have an opportunity to buy coffee, very good coffee. I still have some in my kitchen that I'm using at the moment. So you can do the coffee tour, you can buy coffee, taste some coffee, you'll roast your own coffee. So it's quite a pleasant experience. Next day we do the gorilla trek. I've mentioned it in my 2018 trip report. You can go and look at that video. Excellent experience. You don't have to be super fit to do this. I do have a little of a bit of an exercise program for my guests. Before they go, we start doing walks, and more or less 2 months or so ahead of time, we just start walking, just to get our legs used to climbing, because it is quite steep in places. And you don't have to be fit, your legs just have to be used to going up and down. So stairs and hills and those type of things that you need to walk just to get the right muscles into play. Once we've done the gorillas, we travel further north into Kigali National Park, where we do our chimp trek. Chimp trekking, one of the most amazing experiences that you can do. It's a bit cheaper than the gorillas. And it's not a difficult walk, it's an easy walk. It's very nice to walk in the forest and to listen to the chimps as they go through the forest itself. Then we'll travel through to a place called Jinja, which is the origin of the White Nile, and we will spend 3 nights at Jinja. This will include our Christmas Day. There we have kayaking, whitewater rafting, not very difficult. They built a dam on the Nile, so the rafting is not that rough anymore. So if you feel like just doing a bit of that, then you're welcome to do it. Otherwise, good restaurant and just nice to switch off for a day or 2. Once we're done in Jinja, we cross over into Kenya, and then we'll spend 2 nights in Kenya around the tea plantation area, see if we can find a place that's open that can do a bit of tea for us. And then from there we go down to Ngorogoro. Originally I didn't plan Ngorogoro as part of my trip, but it's such a great place to go to, and whether I go this side of Lake Victoria or that side doesn't make a big difference to me. So I decided to go the other side and include Ngorogoro in this trip. So we come down, to do Arusha, get some shopping organized, make ourselves or get ourselves organized with coffee and whatever we need to do over here. And then 2 nights in Karatu, where we will visit Ngorogoro Crater for the day on game viewing vehicles. Nice, you don't have to drive, they take you in, take pictures. It's also on one of my previous videos. And then we tackle the road back home, down to Iringa, from Iringa down to Lake Malawi, and we sleep for 2 nights just to take a break. After 2 long days driving, we'll take a break, and very nice spot, very nice to just put your feet up and have a Malawi gin and tonic. Very nice. Then we cross back into Zambia. I'm not going to take the chance with Mozambique. Planning it's always a long story, and then when I have to do it, then Mozambique is in chaos. So I'm going to skip Mozambique, and we'll go back through Zambia, back to Lusaka. And then from Lusaka we go down to Livingstone for more or less our last night. People decide to stay back there for an extra day or move on or leave early. So the Livingston is more or less our last night, and then from Livingston I travel through and I sleep in Francistown. If you're with me, you're with me. If you're not, you're not. It doesn't really matter. You're back in Botswana, so from there things are quite easy. So that is the whole trip. So we're basically going around Lake Victoria. The equator sits up here, so when we go for the Chimps, that's when we're basically crossing the equator itself. 30 nights. I already have bookings for the trip. If you want to go with, please let me know as soon as possible. This trip is going to fill up very quickly, and yeah, I don't want you to lose out on this one. It was really special. As I say, the combination of the cultural stuff with Rwanda and the history behind it, with the primates. Also Rwanda, very clean. If you go in there, no plastic bags allowed to go into the country. There's not a paper on the ground. The country is extremely clean. Lovely country to visit. Uganda with the primates and the chimps and the very tropical nature of it, all the way around to Ngorogoro crater. Just something about the weather. I choose this period because it is generally recognized as a short month of semi-dry weather, so not a lot of rain. This year, 2018, we packed up in rain once in Zambia, and we had rain during the night maybe twice or 3 times, but and a big rainstorm when we did the Chimps, which was great. In the rainforest, you suddenly have this massive rainstorm. We all had our rain jackets, so it wasn't a big issue, but it's an incredible experience. So it is not wet, much drier than I anticipated in 2018, much more manageable. It wasn't difficult to manage at all. And temperatures will surprise you. The last time we were warm was in Zambia, and then going through Rwanda, Uganda, temperatures were sitting at 21, 22, 23. I don't think we saw anything above 30 degrees before we got back to Malawi. So the whole northern section is basically in winter for them. So bring a jacket, and it's really pleasant. I much more prefer being up here in December than being down in Joburg with all the heat waves. So temperature is not a problem, and the rain didn't bother us. The short rains are just before we go. The short rains are up there, and then just after we leave, the long rains arrive. So we have a critical window, and we should be all right. This year we had no problems at all. So yeah, if you're interested, please phone me, email me, make your booking. It's important. I'm already taking bookings, and I'm trying to do the cutoff on 6 vehicles. If I have to, I can take 7, but I don't want to push it too much. The campsites are not very big, so I don't want to squeeze everybody into small spots. So yeah, make sure that you get your spot booked, and then we go and see the gorillas. Thanks for watching.